Okay. Yeah. In the last class, we have seen about attenuation, which leads to the signal degradation. Two things: attenuation and scattering were leading to the signal degradation over the length of the fiber. So attenuation is from three things. One is from the missing molecules, that is atomic defects. If there is anything atomic defects present in the manufacturing of the fiber, that leads to the absorption, and absorption leads to the attenuation. Attenuation leads to the signal degradation. And the second thing was the external extra materials which are present while manufacturing. So that is the fiber is not homogeneous. It is, there are some inhomogeneities present over the length of the fiber. That also leads, such as iron, cobalt, and all these materials, if they are present, if the proper refining is not done, then they will be present within the fiber, so they will absorb the light. So that leads to the attenuation, and eventually leads to signal degradation. That is another thing. And internal absorption is from the fiber material itself, that is your silicon dioxide or germanium dioxide or phosphorus pentoxide, whichever you use for manufacturing. So if they have the inherent property of absorbing the light to some extent, but that is less, so that cannot be avoided. So that also leads to absorption and eventually leads to signal degradation to a lesser extent. Okay. And apart from that, we have seen the scattering is due to imperfections present within the fiber. So the imperfections means maybe a crack present in that, or maybe the fiber has bent to certain extent. Okay. So that if it encounters any crack while the light beam is getting transferred from transmitter to receiver, then the signal will scatter. Okay. Once it scatters, the power of that particular light beam will get into cladding, which is eventually lost. That is scattering. In that, we have seen two types of scattering. One is Rayleigh scattering, another one is Mie scattering. Rayleigh scattering, it follows a Rayleigh distribution. It is because due to density fluctuations, and in Mie scattering, it is due to the inhomogeneities present within the fiber. So next thing which also leads to attenuation is your bending loss. Okay, so these bending losses you have studied while doing lab in advanced communication lab. So you have observed that you try to bend the optical fiber which is given to you, and try to bend to certain radius, maybe RC is equal to 3 centimeter, and you have noted down and recorded your output voltage at the receiver side, and then you try to bend it for 1 centimeter radius, and try to record your um, output voltage across the receiver. Then you observed that the one which has bent to a very lesser radius, that is for a 1 centimeter, was giving a lesser voltage at the receiver side compared to that of the bent, that is for a 3 centimeter, which you have done. So for that, this is your theoretical explanation. Okay, we'll go one by one. So I've written a fiber which is of a curved which is a curved fiber. So it is not a straight fiber, so I have made it to bend to certain extent. Okay, so what is that bent? That I have written it as with respect to r. From the center, the amount from to which it is bended is written by r. That is curvature radius. Okay, that is r. So that is what you have done in lab. So r is equal to 3 centimeter, r is equal to 1 centimeter. So that is the curvature at which you are going to bend with respect to fiber axis. Okay, that is theoretical with respect to fiber axis. So observe that this is your transmitter and this is your receiver. So I have taken a light beam of any of the mode. You can take it any of your mode. So assume that you have taken some linearly polarized mode, and this linearly polarized mode beam, I have plot the intensity pattern. So this is not a light beam. This is not a single light beam I have written. Instead, I taken that light beam and plotted the intensity pattern of the light beam. So I'm observing the power of instead of I'm observing the light. I want to know how much of power will go from transmitter to receiver when the fiber is bent. So I will send that light beam from your transmitter. So after certain distance, there is a bend. Okay. So if you plot the light intensity pattern, because light intensity pattern will not go in a curved path, it always go in a straight path. So but your fiber is bent. When fiber is bent, what happens? You initially, if you make all the light beam to travel within the core, this is core, this is completely above that, this is cladding. Okay, so all of your light intensity try to travel into the core, but when there is a bend, so the when your light beam is traveling in a straight path compared to that of your the curved nature of the fiber, some of the power will get into the cladding. This is the one. So this is your the light intensity pattern which is going in the core. So this will eventually reach to the receiver, but as there is a curved path at the areas where where your fiber is bent, some amount of the power from the core will get into the cladding because due to the deviation in the fiber. So that above certain distance, whatever I've written here, that is, that power eventually will not at all reach to the receiver. It will be lost within the cladding. But theoretically we say that some amount of the power will also get into receiver from transmitter, even though it passes through cladding. That amount is very, very small. This, okay, above this, if anything goes, if the power goes into this particular area above this, it will eventually last. But you can make the power which is present in cladding to certain extent to reach to the receiver by moving this particular wavefront at a faster rate compared to this. So when it has to move at a faster rate, then only it will cope up with this particular intensity pattern. Then there will be a chances that this pattern may also reach to the receiver properly. So that is that to the extent to which the intensity pattern reached from transmitter to receiver is explained by XC. It is from the center we measure certain distance, that is called as an XC. There is a chance of this pattern also reaching to the receiver. Above this, there is no chance that this will reach to the receiver. This will eventually reach. This is the light intensity beam, and we observed in the first module that at the core axis the light intensity beam will be always higher. This will reach. Here also it is the same, it is going into cladding. Okay, so this is one of the mode I've taken the fundamental mode field in a curve. Fundamental mode is the first mode, that is the linear polarized mode, LP01. So I have written R is important. R sometimes it is called as RC. Okay, so this is XC, power lost. This is your field distribution. This is the field distribution, intensity pattern or a power pattern or your amplitude distribution, anything you can take. Okay. So there are two types of bending. One is a macro bending, another one is a micro bending. So macro bending means you have intentionally tried to bend your optical fiber when you are going from transmitter to receiver. That means both your transmitter and receiver are not in line of sight. So to reach to the receiver, you have to go in a curved path. Then your fiber has to be bent. So when fiber bends, some amount of light will actually get into the cladding. So those glasses are called as bending glasses. Uh, that is your macro bending glasses, because you try to bend intentionally to reach to your receiver, because there is no straight path, so you have to take a curved path to reach there. Then the glasses are called as the macro bending glasses. Okay, so those glasses are huge. So if you are bent to a very larger extent, so most of the power will get into cladding, which is eventually lost. Okay, so next type, another type of bending glasses, one is macro bending, another one is a micro bending glasses. That means there is a line of sight and you have connected your fiber from transmitter to receiver, there is no bending, but because due to imperfections present within the fiber, or because due to external pressure, okay, so there may be certain fluctuations which may occur at that particular moment of time. These variations within the fiber is called as micro bending glasses. These micro bending glasses, due to manufacturing, it may occur, or due to the external pressure from the outside world, this may occur. So if that is the case, then there will be some amount of power which gets into cladding, which is lost. Okay, these glasses are less compared to that of your macro bending glasses. These may occur regularly also if the pressure is regularly applied on your fiber cable. Okay. Yeah, this is your micro bending glass. Yeah, micro bending glass arising from a small scale fluctuations in the radius of curvature. So it's a small scale fluctuation. What happens here is that is some of the power will be lost to the cladding. That is one case. There is another case that in micro bending, if you are sending a multi-mode fiber, this is only one kind of wavelength I have written. So instead of one type of mode, if there are multi-modes which are propagating, assume that one is a lower order mode, another one is a higher order mode. Okay, so I explained in the classes that in the lower order mode always confine their power in the core. That means most of their power is confined to the core, lower order mode. But higher order modes, some part of the power will be confined to core, some part of the power is confined to cladding. So always we try to we try to send your optical signal through lower order modes. So if it is a multi-mode, then some part of the signal will go get into the lower order mode and some part from the higher order mode. So it's a mix of both. Then what happens is, when it encounters any microscopic variations when you're sending a multi-mode fiber, so there are chances that the power present in the lower order mode will get coupled into the higher order mode. That should not happen. If the power present, so if you assume that you are sending a multi-mode fiber, so there are two modes, maybe two three modes are available. One is a lower mode and the remaining is a higher mode. So when it encounters a microscopic fluctuations like this, there are chances that the power present in the lower order mode will get couples into the higher order mode. The moment the power present in the lower order mode gets coupled into the higher order mode, so some of the power will get into cladding, because due to the nature of higher order modes. So that will be lost. That's why I have written power loss from the higher order modes. So the losses will be heavy at higher order modes if it encounters these kind of fluctuations. Otherwise, for a lower order mode, it is very less. Okay. So two types of things. That is what is explained here. Propagating modes in an optical fiber can be characterized by an electric field. We have written an electric field distribution. This is electric field distribution with a maxima inside. So it is always, there is a maxima at the fiber axis, there is a fiber core, and the remaining field will be at the side of the core, and some part will be in the cladding. Okay, associated with microscopic fluctuation, microscale fluctuation, micro bending losses. So there will be a non-uniformity over the length of the fiber, which there is a change in your diameter. So that means the diameter at this point is not same as the diameter. So there may be it will be somewhat less. So that will give leads to the loss. Okay, so and whatever I explained, it is there. So lower order modes gets coupled into higher order mode. Lower order modes are called as guided modes. Higher order modes are called as non-guided modes. Okay, they are also called as leaky modes because they leak the energy present in them to the cladding. So higher order modes are called as leaky modes. Lower order modes are called as guided and non-leaky modes. Okay. So this is your characteristics of your bending loss. First is the loss mechanism, coupling to a non-propagating mode. So if there is a microscopic fluctuation, there are chances that the power will get into higher, lower order power get into higher order power. So that is coupling. So there will be some losses from that. So that is a bending loss. So next is the larger loss for longer wavelength. So if you are operating at longer wavelength, that is a larger wavelength, then losses will be high. That we will see. Okay. Third one is the smaller loss from for higher numerical aperture. So when you get higher numerical aperture, when your radius or the diameter is high, when diameter of your core is high, then you will be having higher numerical aperture because A is proportional to your numerical aperture. When A is high, that is your radius is high, because most of your intensity pattern will lie within the core, then there will be lesser losses, small loss. Okay. Next, another parameter is the critical bending radius. Critical bending radius is what you try to bend it for 1 centimeter, you try to bend it for 3 centimeter. So that is the one. So critical bending radius, because your bending loss is directly proportional to your critical bending radius. If you have bent to a greater extent, that is for 1 centimeter, lesser than 1 centimeter, then obviously your bending losses are more. So these are the characteristics. So for calculation purpose, so some of the equations are given in your textbook. So one such equation is, if it is a straight fiber instead of a curved fiber, the number of modes supported is given by n infinity. Okay, so this is specifically for a gradient index fiber, alpha divided by alpha plus 2 n1 ka square into delta, where delta is relative refractive index difference, a is your radius, k is propagation constant, that is 2 pi by lambda, n1 is refractive index of core, alpha is your index profile, that is your triangular profile or this one. So this is for a straight fiber. So if it is a curved fiber, then most of your power will be wasted. So to what extent is wasted is given by an equation called as alpha r is equal to C1 exponential of minus C2r. So that means your power will decrease. So if you, when you try to bend or you are bended already, bend to certain extent, then your power reduces exponentially. So that is the meaning of this particular equation, where r is the radius of curvature to the extent you bend, and c1 and c2 are the constant which are independent of your radius. Okay, so it is dependent on the fiber c1 and c2. Okay, so for further calculation, there are two other equations which are given in your textbook. So if you are sending a multimode fiber, if you are sending a light beam in terms of multimode, then what happens? Then what about your critical radius, that is RC? So is given by, furthermore, the larger bending losses tend to occur in a multimode fibers at a critical radius. So critical radius means it is the radius to the maximum extent you can bend. So if you have if your critical radius is 1 centimeter, means you can bend up to 1 centimeter. If you try to reduce it again, so you try to bend to a very lesser extent, that is 0.5 centimeter or 0.25, so there are chances that the fiber may break. Okay, so for that purpose you should always know about critical radius. Critical radius is the maximum extent to which you can bend. Okay, so for a multimode fiber there are two cases. One is a multimode fiber, another one is a single mode fiber. For a multimode fiber, so critical radius is given by 3n1 square lambda 4 pi n1 square into n2 square. So n1 square and n2 square remain tells about the delta variations. Okay, this is somewhat is called as delta. N1 minus n2 square divided by n1 square is your delta. It's almost a delta. So this is n1. This is the refractive index of your core. Lambda is operating wavelength. So observe that RC is directly proportional to lambda. Okay, so when your operating wavelength is increased, your RC is also increased. When operating wavelength is less, RC is less, and when delta is increased, RC is less, because it is at the denominator. So that is the meaning of that. So it may be observed that from the expression, the designing of fibers with large relative refractive indices decreases your RC. So how we can reduce this RC? So the reduce in the sense, so you want to make that fiber to a bend to a larger extent. That is, you are assume that to your transmitter and receiver are not in line of sight and they are somewhere, so you have to bend at a larger extent. Then you can reduce them by using delta. Designing fibers with large relative refractive indexes, so if delta is decreased, R will going to increase because at the denominator side. Operating at shorter wavelength, when you operate at shorter wavelength, then you can reduce RC. So if lambda is less, RC is less. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. So similarly, if you apply it for a single mode fiber, the same expression will not work. So after some research, they got an equation that for a single mode fiber, your single mode step index fiber RCS is given by 20 lambda n1 into n2. So this is almost a delta 2.478 lambda by lambda c. Here it is a lambda c. For a single mode fiber, lambda c is important along with lambda. Lambda is your operating wavelength. Lambda c is the cutoff wavelength, which we have studied in first module. So lambda c is, it's a wavelength above which you can operate only in single mode. It's a wavelength below which you can operate in multimode. That is lambda c. So it is at which you are operating. Lambda gives you which wavelength we are operating, but lambda c helps you to know which mode you have to use. Okay, that is lambda c. Lambda c is the cutoff wavelength for a single mode fiber. Okay, so lambda c is calculated by the equation given in first chapter. Okay, so for that, so normally this is important for your examination purpose. They will ask it for 8 marks. Okay, bending losses, you have to write the diagram related to them and write the equations which are mentioned here along with your characteristics and your own explanation. Okay, so okay, so if they are not asked your theory, they may there are chances that they may ask the problem related to the bending loss, which we'll see. So just substitution case for the expressions which we have learned here. The first case, a step index fiber, two step index fibers exhibit the following parameters. First one is a multimode fiber with a core refractive index of 1.50. N1 is given 1.50. Relative refractive index difference delta of 3%, 0.03, and an operating wavelength of 0.82 micrometer. This is first case. Okay, for that case, you have to find critical radius. So it's a multimode fiber. First case, first expression. So that is RC, which we have studied here. We have to apply this one. Okay, we have to apply this for your multimode fiber. For a single mode fiber, you have to apply this. For a single mode next one, an 8 micrometer core diameter. In this case, diameter is given. Single mode fiber with a core refractive index of same as delta. That is N1 is same as A. That is N1 is 1.50. First case, so same as this one. A relative index difference. So relative index difference is different here. In earlier case, it is 3%. Now it is 0.3%, and an operating wavelength of 1.55 micrometer. This is an operating wavelength lambda is given. Estimate the critical radius of curvature at which large bending loss occur in both the cases. So you have to find RC for multimode as well as step index. So first case, write down the given. N1 is 1.50, delta is 0.03, lambda is 0.826, which is given. So substitute that in your expression. So that is RC. So RC is equal to 3N1 square lambda. So N1 is known. N2 is not known. Instead of N2, delta is given. So from delta, we can find your N2. So that we know that equation, delta is equal to N1 square minus N2 square divided by 2N1 square. There are two expressions for delta. This is the exact equation. The approximate equation is N1 minus N2 divided by 2N1. So we have used normally. So in this case, in your textbook, they have went for the exact value instead of approximated value. So they have used N1 square minus N2 square. So substituting this, delta you know, N1 you know, so you can usually find your N2 or N2 square. So N2 square is 21. So if you take a root of that, you get an N2. That is your refractive index of cladding. Once you know N2, N1, lambda, you just substitute in the expression known to you, and you will get that RC is 9 micrometer. That means you can bend this particular fiber, which is of these dimensions, and this is of these properties given in your problem. So you can bend it to a very large extent of 9 micrometer. So you cannot go to 899. This is maximum 9 micrometer. You can bend it to 9.1, 9.2, 10 micrometer, 11 micrometer, 1 centimeter. That is okay. So don't bend it below this. That is 8.9 micrometer is not acceptable. That means the fiber will break. Okay, that is your critical radius for a multimode fiber. Similarly, you have to find it for a single mode fiber. So for that case, he has given 2A. 2A is 8 micrometer is given, and N1 is same. Refractive index is 0.3. Operating wavelength is also changed. Okay, so okay, first given is delta is 0.3%, so it is 0.003. Lambda is 1.55 micrometer. So in here, in this case also, N2 is not given. Yeah, you use the earlier formula to find N2, whatever you have done in the first one, same. So after knowing that N2, you try to substitute here. Okay, lambda you know, N1 you know, N2 you know, but lambda also can substitute, but there is a lambda C in single mode fiber. So expression lambda C is cutoff wavelength that you have to find before using this particular equation. So lambda C you can find that we have derived in the first chapter. So lambda C is 2 pi A by VC. So in some cases we have found VC is equal to 2 pi A by lambda C into numerical aperture, that we know. So just interchange this, we lambda C and VC. And numerical aperture, we know 2 to 3 equations are there, but we know N1 and delta in this case. So I have substituted this in the form of N1 into 2 delta. So I think N1 into root of 2 delta. It is not N1 raised to 1 or 2. So there is a problem. So consider it as N1 root of 2 delta. N1 to root of 2 delta, and substitute the values. Here 2A is given. So diameter is given. So you know the A. So just substitute it. And VC is the cutoff wavelength. Here it is a step index fiber. For a step index fiber, cutoff V number is 2.405. That we know. So just substitute that. Substitute it. You get lambda C. That is 1.214 micrometer. So above this, it will act as a single mode fiber. Now substitute all the values known to you. Lambda you know, lambda C you know, N1 you know, N2 you know. Just substitute it. You get a value which is RCS is equal to 34 millimeter. Okay, so the inference to be drawn from this particular one is problem is here for a multimode fiber RC is 9 micrometer. You can bend it to a larger extent. Okay, for here it is RCS is 34 millimeter. Okay, it is not to a greater extent compared to that your multimode fiber. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, it's an important one. Normally they ask the theory related to the your bending glasses. If they are not asked, they there are chances that they may ask for they may ask a problem related to that. Okay, so most of the cases they will ask the theory related to it. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. I hope you have understood to some extent, and if you have any questions, you can ask through your chat. I will wait for 1 minute. Okay. Mm, okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah, otherwise I will unmute you and you can ask that. Okay. Wait for a minute. Yeah, there is a. Mm, okay, manage. Yeah, someone has raised and I will unmute her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've unmuted you. So Janya Jain, you can unmute on your side and ask a question. It's it's on your side now. So if you have any questions, you can yeah, I have unmuted you from my side. So if you don't have questions, I will end my meeting and I will record my yeah. Just be there for 1 or 2 minutes. I will record your attendance, and then I will end my session. Just be there for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have recorded your attendance. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I will end my session. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there is a question. Yeah, please share the notes of module 1. Yeah, I think for module 1, I have shared the notes. For module 2, this is module 2. I will share the materials for module 2. Okay. Yeah, I will stop. I have recorded your attendance. So if you are typing your lesson, it's okay. Otherwise, I have recorded already. It's okay. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. Thank you for thanks for attending the class.